Greetings, YouTube. Actually, this video deserves happy lights. We're going to get some happy lights in here. There we get some little happy lights in the background. There we go. Because Scotland has decided to actually accept the reality that the LGBTQ community exists, and they're going to incorporate their existence and their history and their social conventions into their curriculum in schools. And not only are they going to have dedicated educational material incorporated into their curriculum, but they're actually going to make sure that pertinent pieces of information in other topics come up. So, for example, say when an author was or is a member of the LGBT community, that will be mentioned, because that's a reality. That's a part of the fabric of who that author was. And if there is a civil rights member, that will be mentioned. If there's a historical figure that we know with some veracity that was a member of, the LGBT community, that will be mentioned. When you're talking about computers, we should mention that Turing was gay, and that it was because he was gay that he was prosecuted by the British government, and eventually suicide took him away from us because he was prosecuted for the crime of being gay. So Scotland is going to incorporate those types of things in their curriculum so that students understand that gay and trans people, or I should say queer and trans people, have been part of our reality for as long as the human species has existed. And that's a positive. Yay, Scotland! Now, I'm sure there are going to be lots of Scottish folks that are upset at this. And guess what? Fuck y'all. Seriously. Each and every one of you. If you're opposed to accepting the reality that LGBTQ people have always been part of our species, yeah, just all goddamn day long. Just fuck you. That's what you deserve. You are not worthy of respect. I am out of sympathy, compassion, and patience for you fuckers. You are a pox upon our species. You are holding us back. You are hurting people. You are harming your own goddamn children. Some of who will be revealed someday to be members of the LGBT community, probably after they have left home, because they're smart enough to realize if they reveal it when they're home with parents who are socially conservative, they could be putting their housing situation at risk and their life at risk. They could get themselves kicked out of the house because they reveal that they're a member of the LGBTQ community. And some of them won't live through the process. We know this has happened, and it will happen again because social conservatism is a communicable disease. And the kind of thing that Scotland's doing right now is going to hurt social conservatism, because people are going to understand that being a member of the LGBTQ community is nothing strange. It's just part of life. Some people are, some people aren't. The same way some people have brown eyes, some people have hazel eyes, some people have blue eyes. It's just the way it is. It isn't good, it isn't bad. It's just a part of reality. And social conservatives hate that. That's why the Stephen Colbert joke about the fact that, history as a liberal bias is so damn funny. Because to the conservative, it does. It has a bias because they aren't willing to admit that they're wrong. That their conservative view of the world is actually the hothouse flower that they accuse progressives of promoting. Progressive people are not promoting hothouse flowers. We are promoting just the everyday, down-to-earth reality. It is conservatives that have created a hothouse environment for their precious little worldview that must be protected by any means necessary. And that includes being bigots, creating laws that hurt people, that jail people for simply who they are, who prosecute people for simply who they are, who encourage others to kill people simply because of who they are. It is the conservatives that are the enemy of the state, the enemy of the people, not progressives, not members of the LGBTQ community who just want to live their lives. And if you don't want to be a member of the LGBT community, okay, don't. No one's making you. And I have never grasped why you care. Why do you care if somebody's trans or not? You look at somebody and you can't determine at a glance what their gender identity is? Who cares? I don't. Are you afraid that you might find yourself attracted to someone and you won't know what their genitals look like? Well, you don't know what anybody's genitals look like. And it's none of your damn business unless you get into a relationship with them. So that's no different. Just as you have no right to know what somebody looks like naked unless they choose to let you know what they look like naked. You have no right to know what somebody's genitals are unless they choose to let you know what their genitals are. It's not complicated. Really. Gender identity isn't as complex as you seem to make it. And the world isn't the binary you think it is. And if you knew more, if you read more, if you were less ignorant, you'd understand that. And the type of thing that they are doing in Scotland with their new curriculum standards because they've passed this law is going to help the LGBTQ community, the exact opposite of what the conservatives want. So like I said, fuck y'all.